What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with another Destiny 2 Heresy video, and in this one we're going to speak about the roadmap of content which will lead us up to Apollo, the 2025 expansion for Destiny 2. Currently all we know is that the first of the Frontiers expansions should be dropping in the summer of 2025, and that technically makes Heresy a pretty long season, but Bungie are dropping additional content that we wouldn't normally get as part of an episode, and that'll help keep players busy as well as pave the way to the expansion itself. So we're going to round up everything that we can expect in the next few months. If you guys enjoy the video, a rating below really does help us out on the channel, but now let's get into it. And so between now and the next expansion, the first thing that we can expect is the launch of Act 2 for Heresy. This is going to drop on the 11th of March, and in terms of content, Act 2 will only be 3 weeks long. One of the things that we'll be going after in that time will be catalysts for the Barad, so Bungie have said we'll get the target lock and one for all catalysts as part of Act 2, then the other catalysts will roll out beginning in Act 3. Another upgrade that Barad will get in that timeline though is an additional trait called Taken Ambition. This looks like it will change the weapon behavior a bit, and Blight Generated increases the longer this weapon remains on a target, and Blighted Seekers burrow into targets then explode. So this will be an alternate version of the weapon, and given that it says it resonates with our choices, it would appear that this particular perk will be unlocked when we're able to switch to a different reputation track at the Shape-In Slab. This bonus was shown in the Bungie livestream for Act 2, so as far as we know, that's when we should be getting it. Otherwise, we'll get a new game mode for the second act called Chord of Blades, inspired by the Chord of Oryx from Destiny 1. And Bungie have said that each run of the Chord of Blades will last for around 10 minutes, which will make it much faster than the Nether. And we'll be traveling to some old destinations like Io. There's also a bubble in Europa. But importantly, this game mode is where we'll earn the rest of the Heresy weapons, and that will include the Adept versions when we get completions on Expert mode. So those are the two core pieces of Heresy content for Act 2. Plus Bungie revealed new artifact mods for the second act, which are trace rifle focused. So we get things like Beam Medic, where rapid trace rifle final blows heal you and nearby allies, and powerful combatants increase the amount. Elemental Siphon, where rapid final blows with a kinetic weapon, or one matching the equipped super, create an elemental pickup that matches the super. Then there's Harsh Refraction, where trace rifles do more damage to targets afflicted by elemental debuffs matching their elemental type. And Limit Break, where casting a super while you're critically wounded, or have an elemental buff matching your super element, will grant a period of increased super damage. And of course there'll be a trace rifle for Guardian Games, which will also drop in Act 2, where Bungie have revealed that we'll get a new game mode called Rushdown. And in that mode we'll fight a handful of bosses, and the quicker we defeat them, the more points we'll score. We'll also get bonus points by not using revive tokens and killing enemies. And then we'll get more rewards based on that score at the end of the activity, where we'll be able to earn the new weapon, the trace rifle for Guardian Games. The event will also get new armor and cosmetics as always. And so that will be the 3 weeks of content for Act 2. Then we'll be straight into Act 3 for the 1st of April, where Bungie have revealed that the Sunless Cell Strike will return. They've said there will be a new boss in here, also that this will become a Grandmaster for the episode, so that's pretty cool in itself. In that time we'll get the final set of upgrades for Barad as well, but otherwise we're not sure what additional Heresy rewards might be introduced. However, Bungie have teased that there will be a late season reward refresh of some sort that will include the Inquisitor for Trials of Osiris being updated, and around that time we'll also be getting the Rite of the Nine, which is a new dungeon event for the game. Before we talk about that though, there have been a handful of leaks regarding No Land Beyond, which will be returning according to leaks for the end of the episode, and as far as we understand it, it looks to be a pre-order bonus for the upcoming Destiny release. So the strong assumption is that by Act 3 we'll get some kind of reveal for the next expansion. Of course it's the only way that it can really happen, so we're anticipating being able to get our hands on the New Land Beyond during Act 3 as well. I would, however, take that with a grain of salt until Bungie confirm it. Quick mention for artifact perks in Act 3. Bungie leaks had shared what they presume to be the Act 2 bonuses. Bungie did actually confirm we'll get rocket launcher focused perks though for Act 3. So more than likely, that will include Gold from Lead, where picking up special ammo has a chance to grant heavy. Vile Weave, where targets hit by your tangles are severed, and you can reduce the tangle cooldown by picking one up. But there's also to Shreds, and dealing sustained damage to severed targets unravels them, then defeating a severed target creates a hotspot of strand energy granting woven mail to nearby allies for a short duration. That sounds pretty cool. And finally, Perpetual Destruction, where rapid final blows with non-exotic rocket launchers refund ammo and increase reload speed for a short duration. So, assuming those are correct, they sound pretty juicy. But back to the Ride of the Nine dungeon event, this will launch later in Act 3 according to Bungie, and will feature Prophecy, Spire of the Watcher, and Ghosts of the Deep as free-to-play dungeons, which will come with 3 different difficulty modes. So there'll be Explorer mode, which is a beginner-friendly version of these dungeons with more mechanic explanations, waypoints and tooltips designed to actually teach how to play the activity. It will also be an easier version of the activity, so that's going to be really interesting and will enable players that haven't done that kind of dungeon content before to get involved. Plus there'll be Eternity mode, which will be a standard difficulty experience of those dungeons, and Ultimatum mode, which is a contest level difficulty of the dungeons with extra modifiers. And from there, we'll be able to get updated adept versions of the weapons from those dungeons, but all versions of the dungeons will also drop the standard versions of these guns. So they've been updated with a sort of Prophecy or 9 themed aesthetic, as well as a new origin trait called Gravity Well, where reloading the weapons automatically gathers nearby ammo. Again, keep in mind this will be free for all players, so no dungeon keys will be required. And on top of that, for the harder versions of these dungeons, Bungie will introduce 5 new emblems, earnable weapon cosmetics, and an event-exclusive title seal. Although data mines also suggest there'll be a mystery associated with the 9 and the return of the 3rd Spire, with what appears to be a kind of puzzle called The Game. So Bungie Leaks shared there'll be 2 versions of this, one called Middle Game and another called End Game, and they'll take place in 2 locations. So there's one called Unknown Antechamber, a space where a puzzle may be unraveled piece by piece, plus there'll be Uncharted Space, a mysterious pocket within Eris's throne world. And it would appear that this is some kind of chess-themed puzzle with the 9. Obviously, mechanically, we don't know exactly how that will work, but there will be a unique reward called Enigmatology for offering the correct final answer in an uncharted space, and we can see there are chess-themed icons on that emblem, so that will be an additional layer. And on top of that, for PvP fans or general fans of PvP mayhem, Bungie will be introducing a game mode called Heavy Metal, where players will be able to pilot massive fallen brigs as well as Drake tanks in team-based vehicle combat. So not quite combined arms, but perhaps an even more chaotic version of it, which will certainly be an unexpected and kind of daft fun game mode for the Crucible. Like we said though, during Act 3, almost certainly by then, we'll be getting some kind of a reveal for the next expansion for Destiny 2. The current timeline indicates that Heresy is set to end in mid-July, so that's possibly when we'll get the next expansion, although Bungie haven't actually confirmed it yet. So given that that roadmap indicates that the Apollo codenamed expansion will drop in summer, obviously there's a bit of a date range there of 3 or 4 months where it could potentially drop. Hopefully it will be in the earlier part of the summer, but we'll just have to wait and see when we get that announcement. So the good news either way is that it looks like we'll have a reasonable amount of content between now and June. And obviously it will be an interesting year seeing the continuation of Destiny's content format evolving into this new sort of twin expansion system for 2025 into 2026. Plus Bungie have other things cooking like Marathon, which we'll reportedly be hearing about in the next couple of months as well. So guys, there we go. That's what we can expect. Of course, other events like Iron Banner will be dotted into the mix as we go through this time frame. But let us know down below, what are you most looking forward to between exotic upgrades, new weapons, events, or indeed activities like the Darkblade coming back? I'd love to get your thoughts in the comment section, but if you've enjoyed the video, a rating really does help us out as well, and get subscribed if you want to see more Destiny content. For now though, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.